Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders coming off a bye week. I think the Raiders are underrated. I know they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I still don't think they're getting their respect. Hell, that was 2 weeks ago. Nobody remembers that. Tampa Bay comes out and eviscerates a really good Green Bay team. So you know that in terms of betting and in optics, everybody's leaning hard on Tampa Bay. I think this game could be closer, but it also wouldn't shock me if Tampa Bay runs away. But let me hit you with lines first, and I'll turn it over to you, David. Or I should say, I'm sorry, fantasy football projections. Brady is a start for me. Ronald Jones, I hate to say it, he's a slam dunk start for me. You got to start him. I feel dirty saying it. Godwin, nice to see him back. He's a start. I'm staying away from everybody else except for maybe Gronkowski, who now with O.J. Howard out, he looked good. He doesn't look as Gronk-like as he looked maybe 3 or 4 years ago. He's getting a little bit older. He looks a little slower to me, but Brady still throws the ball to him, and they have chemistry, and he's a big target in the red zone. So I think you can move forward with Gronk as a starter moving forward at tight end. Vegas, on the other hand, look, Tampa Bay can stop the run. That's my concern. And you know that Las Vegas, if they're getting 2.9 yards per carry with Josh Jacobs, they'll say, okay, we'll just keep doing it, which I love about the Raiders. So they're going to do it. They're going to really test Tampa Bay's run defense more so than Green Bay did last week. I'm looking forward to seeing what that test does for both of these teams. So this all comes down to whether or not the Raiders can have success. I think if the Raiders can average 3.2 yards per carry, which you would think, that's a low, they should be easily to do that. It's easier said than done against Tampa. If they can get 3.2 yards per carry from Jacobs, I think they close this spread, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Jacobs, I think you started just based on volume. I loved what I saw from Ruggs and Carr last week. I don't love Carr as a start, but I'm okay starting Ruggs. I don't have a great projection on him, but they're going to take a deep shot or two to Ruggs, and he has the speed to get behind the defense. Take it away, David.
Is this the week of revenge? Because look at some of these revenge narratives we got. We got Teddy B going back and facing the Saints, who he used to play for. We got Garoppolo going back facing the Patriots. And then we got John Gruden, who goes and faces his old Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fun. So there's going to be some great revenge narratives on tap this week. I like the revenge narrative. So I think, and you were a lot higher on the Raiders than I was. I believed in their offensive players. I always thought Derek Carr was an underrated quarterback, and I loved Waller. I didn't think he was getting the respect he deserved as a one of those big tight ends.
Right.
Top fantasy tight ends. But I never believed in this team's defense, and I never really bought into them being a winning football team. I'm bought in now. I love the way they run their team, John Gruden. I love how they lean on the run. That defense is improving. They just beat the Chiefs. And Tampa Bay, everyone's going to be high on them coming off of the win against the Packers. It could be a little bit of a trap game for the Buccaneers against the Raiders. So I like the matchup here. I think Waller definitely. We'll see about Jacobs. You're obviously starting him. If you have a better option than Josh Jacobs, your team is loaded.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's all about that run game, and we know how. I mean, it's strength for strength. It's Tampa Bay's strength is the run defense, and Las Vegas they want to run. So we're going to see strength for strength. I didn't mention Waller, by the way. Definitely a start for me this week.
And how about Ronald Jones? We got to at least mention the guy's name after what he's done. He is an RB1 right now.
I know.
And Tampa Bay is leading the league in running back targets. Holy shit.
It's breaking my heart because I was thinking that Fournette was going to steal that job away, and there's no way he's going to wrestle that away.
Both of us. Me and you and hundreds of thousands of other people as well.
Yeah,
I know. Ronald Jones is here to stay.
He is.
He looks like an RB1, and he's still probably acquirable as an RB3 in fantasy. Again, a team who's only got 2 running backs, no way in hell they're trading Ronald Jones right now. But if this is someone's 4th running back, heck, maybe they don't believe. So I think Ronald Jones, you still got a chance to buy him if you're in need of a running back and don't want to overpay.
Yeah, I have to acknowledge my mistake here. Look, you and me both were right on Tyler Higbee. I think you and me were both, as recently as like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were trashing Ronald Jones. You can't do that and look like you know what you're talking about. Ronald Jones is playing impressive football, so good for him. I'm still curious to see because I really honestly do think that Fournette's the better talent, but Ronald Jones is playing himself on the field. So until Ronald Jones does something stupid, like has 2 fumbles in a game or something, Fournette might just not have the opportunity when he's healthy. We'll see what happens. But Ronald Jones, I agree with you, man. He's legit. Let me hit you with the line here. We got Tampa Bay -3 according to Bovada versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm going to take the Raiders not just to cover the spread. I'm going to take them to win this game.
You know, I don't disagree with you. I mean, this is the kind of thing because especially the hype coming into this game, right? And Gruden, look, before he took this job, he knows and stayed close with the Tampa Bay organization. He knows about half of that roster pretty well. He stayed pretty man, this does feel like a trap game for me for the Tampa Bay because it's so easy to overlook the Raiders. Everybody in the NFL's been doing it for like 2 years. I love betting the Raiders. They always cover. I bet you by the end of this week, I wouldn't even bet it when this show comes out. By Sunday, I bet you this line's Tampa Bay -5. So I wait, and I bet the Raiders on Sunday morning. But I'll take the Raiders to cover. But look, I mean, it all comes down to that run game. If Tampa Bay comes out and their defensive line's ready to go and they hold Jacobs, then the Raiders are going to have a tough day, I think. So we'll see, man. It's going to be a fun game. That's a really nice Sunday night matchup. It might not excite the country, but it excites me. Last game on the list.